joining us. I'm Paul Neff from Order Ease, and today we're walking through how independent retailers, especially garden centers, can streamline their e-commerce and vendor operations. Whether you're running a Shopify or WooCommerce store or still processing purchase orders by hand, you'll leave this session with real strategies to save time, reduce friction, and grow revenue. Joining me today is Mark Simmons from the Retail Computer Group. Thanks for joining, Mark.
Yes, hello. Thank you, Paul.
Perfect. So garden centers use systems like Counterpoint, which Mark represents, are looking for easy integrations with e-commerce to help open up additional sales opportunities and make them more accessible to their customers. Garden centers are also looking for an easier way to manage vendors within their own solution, including vendor catalogs, pricing updates, and transmissions like purchase orders, shipments, and invoices to ensure efficiency and accuracy. So one of the first subjects we want to talk about is e-commerce integration, specifically Shopify and WooCommerce. Right now, most teams are uploading products manually, updating inventory by hand, and duplicating work across platforms. Mark, what are the most common manual tasks you're seeing retailers faced with when they are not integrated with their e-commerce provider?
Well, Paul, generally what happens is people start out with a website because that's what everyone told them they had to have. And then as they grow a little bit, they realize that they need to be selling on that website. And so now you have to upload product, you have to upload pricing, you have to upload inventory quantities, and you have to maintain these on a fairly regular basis. So if you don't have any automation in place, that means somebody pretty much every day has to go in and touch the inventory to make sure that the website doesn't oversell, sell you out. And then, of course, if you have more than just a website, like let's say, for instance, you want to venture into multiple websites or you want to sell on Amazon, now you multiply that workload by the number of marketplaces that you want to sell on. So it very quickly can become quite a burden. And we have seen organizations who have had 2, 3 full-time people who did nothing but maintain 3 or 4 different marketplaces in order to stay on top of this stuff.
Makes sense. And so how does connecting their point of sale system like Counterpoint to Shopify or WooCommerce change that workflow from a day-to-day standpoint?
So basically, there's 2 sides of an e-commerce solution. The first side is getting the product, getting the pricing, and getting the inventory up to the website. So we can automate that process so that inventory and prices and changes to items are pushed up to the website hourly, every half hour, every 15 minutes, whatever type of scheduling one wants to do. So that takes care of the maintenance side of it as far as getting the product up to the website. Then the other side of the equation is getting the orders into Counterpoint from the websites. So a lot of sites, basically, you receive an email notification, you print out that email, you then open up Counterpoint and you pound that order into Counterpoint manually. Now that step, of course, is prone to errors. So when we link Counterpoint through Order Ease to the website, those orders just flow down into Counterpoint and they're ready to be processed right there. So we eliminate those type of mistakes. As your sales volume goes up, it just keeps putting those orders in and everything is simple and easy to use.
Perfect. So that's the front end. But what happens when you want to sell more products without stocking more inventory? So this is where the concept of drop shipping comes in. It's a simple concept. The retailer sells a product on their website, but the vendor ships it directly to the customer. The retailer never touches the product, and that means they can offer more SKUs without expanding inventory or watering a single plant. What does a successful drop ship setup look like for an independent retailer, Mark?
So basically, the difference between drop ship and a regular order, as far as Counterpoint is concerned, is of course the fact that the product is being shipped direct from the vendor. And when the vendor notifies the retailer that the order has shipped, then the retailer can go in and finalize that order. And of course, this is a big trend nowadays. We have seen this all over the place. Marketplaces, specifically Amazon, while Amazon may stock some products, an awful lot of the products that Amazon sells are all drop ships from vendors or distributors. Within Counterpoint, a drop ship order looks exactly like a regular order. So there's no learning curve. Basically, you handle it just like a regular order, except for the fact that you're not going to pick it, pack it, and ship it. So there's nothing as far as new to learn other than the fact you're actually doing less than you would for a regular order.
Perfect. And it definitely makes sense because Order Ease will deliver that order back to your Counterpoint system, but also split and push the order to the vendor for the fulfillment. So yeah, are there common vendor expectations or rule of thumb for retailers should be aware of before starting a dropship program?
Well, generally, of course, you have to have an agreement with your vendor and determine what becomes a dropship item versus something you stock in your store. So that, of course, is managed through Order Ease, so that when those items go up to Order Ease, they can be flagged as drop ships where they're going to go straight to the vendor. Sometimes there's special pricing that is used for dropship items as opposed to items that you have in stock in your store. So you need to take that into consideration. And really, outside of just knowing clearly what's going to be drop shipped versus what you're going to ship is really the hardest part.
No, it definitely makes sense, Mark. So this is the concept of an endless aisle. You can offer more without carrying more from your vendor stock. So let's talk about the next big piece, which is the back end, which is vendor communications. Most retailers are still emailing POs, usually via PDFs, manually confirming shipments and invoices, and chasing down product catalogs for up-to-date pricing, products, and availability. What does it look like to automate vendor communications, POs, vendor shipments, and catalog imports in the Counterpoint system, Mark?
So one of the components of our Order Ease API is the ability to subscribe to vendor catalogs through Order Ease. So now a retailer can access those catalogs and pull those catalogs down into Counterpoint, but not necessarily add every single item in the catalog to Counterpoint. They can actually go through and cherry pick the items that a vendor sells that they want to actually stock in their store or sell online through Order Ease. So what that means is that whenever the vendor updates the catalog, then the pricing and information inside of Counterpoint, as far as those items are concerned, those products are concerned, gets updated. And then, of course, as more catalogs come out or a new catalog is released, then those catalogs become visible as well. So the retailer is always up to date with the latest products and the latest pricing that a vendor might supply. Now, the beauty of this is that once you've established a relationship with the vendor through Order Ease, you can then turn around and cut your purchase orders to that vendor, which will then be sent electronically through Order Ease and onward to the vendor. So now we're not even having to print anything out. We don't have to email anything to anybody. We don't have to fax it to them. And it just goes up there. Now the vendor is going to get that order. And when they process that order, they're going to send an acknowledgement. And they're also going to ship it. And when that shipment occurs, then the retailer can pick up that shipment notification, and from that shipment notification actually create a receiver inside of Counterpoint for the purpose of receiving that order when it actually comes in at the back door. So trying to simplify the process, trying to eliminate human error, the redundant reentry of data is really the goal. The end goal is to make it quick and simple to get product into Counterpoint, get purchase orders to the vendor, and generate receivings from those shipment notifications.
Perfect. And one of the points that need to be made is order ease can plug into multiple ERPs. So rather than the vendor having to send out spreadsheets or manual catalogs or PDF price lists or that kind of thing, it could be sent directly from their ERP when they make price changes. Thanks, Mark. How does pulling a vendor catalog directly into their system change the special order pricing management and reordering process for a store team?
Well, the catalogs, when they come down, they have the pricing available, the suggested retail pricing. They also then have the standard cost, and if there's special pricing that might be associated with that, then that special pricing is part of that catalog, which when we put it in the counterpoint, then you can access that information through your purchasing. The other piece of data that comes down with the catalogs is the inventory levels that the vendor is stocking. So you can see that this particular product from this particular vendor has 144 in stock, and so you know what you can anticipate as far as ordering it if you need more or less.
Perfect. And that vendor quantity can be shown as whether it's just available or you can actually have an actual number. So,
Right.
perfect. So now just to touch base on B2B for a minute, what solutions can Order Ease and Counterpoint offer for customers needing a way to receive orders from other businesses?
Sure, absolutely. So another component of Order Ease is a portal where your business customers, so this is really wholesale, business to business, not retail, not to consumer, so that your business customers can log into the portal, access your catalogs of the products you are selling to them via a wholesale. And those customers can place their orders through the portal, and those orders will come down into the vendor's system for processing. If that vendor is running Counterpoint, well, then the orders come in from the portal and come down into Counterpoint where they're processed there. So the portal also is available through a mobile application where the user can actually sign in through a smartphone, smart device, and actually view product and place orders. It's really, it's a nice application. Most people are using the desktop. It's great for salespeople who might be out visiting customers. So if you do business to business and you have a salesperson who goes visit your customers, they can take that portable application with them and actually write orders in the field, which then roll back into Order Ease. And again, if you're running Counterpoint, down into Counterpoint.
Perfect. Yeah, it makes sense. And it could also be used at trade shows if you're walking into your vendor's booth and that kind of thing. So when you reduce the number of emails, file uploads, and errors, the store team gets time back and the customer receives better service is the concept there. So who is this for? Well, this approach is ideal for independent retailers, garden centers especially, but it's flexible enough to work across other industries. You don't need an IT team or a tech stack to offer this functionality. In particular, garden centers, Mark, why do you think that would be a good industry to start with?
Well, one of the things that has become very popular since COVID is this whole concept of placing an order online and picking up at the store. So you have generations of people now who have learned how to do that, like that flexibility, where they can get online, order the stuff, drive up, have someone put it into their vehicle and go home. And that kind of convenience is really taking off. Just about every major online presence has that ability to not only ship orders directly to the customer, but that order and pick up at the store is becoming a huge part of business for a lot of people. And the green industry especially, because shipping live plants, that can get expensive and it can get ugly. So having that ability to have your customers order the stuff, come in, pick it up is a real time saver.
Yeah, totally. And especially when you're dealing with the seasonality of garden centers and how fast they have to get product back into the show floor. It definitely makes sense.
Yes, and the key here is that when it gets busy, like on Mother's Day, your parking lot gets full and people can't get into your store because there's no place to park. That's when order online, pick up the store works really well, because all they have to do is drive in, go through the pickup line, get their orders, and leave. And it just lets you service more customers than you can just people parking and coming into the store.
Yeah, very good point, Mark. So now let's take a minute and look at some of the functionality we've been discussing. Mark's going to walk us through a demo of the connectivity with both e-commerce and vendors within the Counterpoint point of sale solution.
Okay, let me get my screen here to be shared. All right, so if everything's working correctly, you should have a Google document on the screen. I just wanted to do kind of a very high-level overview about how data moves back and forth. So on the right side here, you can see we've got Counterpoint. We are pushing items and prices and inventory over to Order Ease. Order Ease then is pushing those items and prices and inventory over to various marketplaces. So you can go beyond your website and you can expand into other marketplaces for the purpose of selling online. And then again, as those orders are created in these various marketplaces, they get pushed back over into Order Ease. Order Ease can integrate with a shipping solution, and eventually the customer orders and the web orders come down into Counterpoint for processing. So this motion of moving things back and forth, this all occurs on scheduled timings. The scheduling, depending on what it is, can be once a day, once an hour, once every 15 minutes. Inside of Counterpoint, then, basically, we've just got a couple of things that we are concerned about setting up. So we use the concept of a sales channel. And so the sales channel then determines how we are going to talk to Order Ease. So we have a wholesale channel here. We've got a WooCommerce channel here. We've got a Shopify sales channel here. And this is just configuration information that determines how we're going to process these orders. You can have dedicated stores for each one of these marketplaces you sell into so that you can separate the sales out. You have the ability to have for instance, Amazon could be set up as an accounts receivable charge. So when the Amazon sales come in, they get charged to Amazon. And then when you're reconciling your payments from Amazon, you can go into accounts receivable and reconcile each one of those orders one by one against what Amazon is paying you. After that, the next step that we have to do is we have to be able to get items and pricing and inventory up to Order Ease and onward to the sales channel. We use price sheets to do this. So this is a standard Counterpoint functionality where you can go get items, you can adjust your prices, you can fine tune what you're going to send to Order Ease. And then the lower section down here in the lower left, this is what tells us that this is a price sheet that's going to be used with Order Ease. And then once we've got this all set up and configured, we then come out of here and then we can actually look at the actual items that we're actually going to send to Order Ease. So all these items here were generated by the price sheet, and the items then go on up to Order Ease. Again, because you can have multiple sales channels, each sales channel will have its own individual pricing. This allows you to sell the same item on multiple marketplaces or sales channels, and they can each have their own unique pricing. And again, if you are doing a business-to-business solution, you can have multiple price levels established in Order Ease that are tied to a customer category, and that customer category then determines what the pricing is that they get when orders are placed by that customer. So really what the goal is that we set up the sales channel, we generate the items that are going to be pushed up to Order Ease, and then it just runs. And with the exception of you need, of course, obviously, to come in and look at your orders, the actual day-to-day and maintenance happens automatically. one of the things about the channel items here is that whenever there's a change to the price, whenever there is a change to the description of an item, then we automatically send that item up to order ease to reflect the fact that there's been changes. So these occur in the background. You don't have to go do duplicate maintenance. Counterpoint becomes the truth as far as the prices and the descriptions and the items that you are going to send up to order ease. And then, of course, the part that we all love is the fact that these orders then come down into order ease and they're ready for you to process them. And so we can go into Counterpoint. We can use the touchscreen, or we can use ticket entry, and we can go in and look at these orders. So as we look at the orders, we can see here the orders that came in from order ease, because the order ease order number here ties directly to the order as it comes out of order ease. And of course, in this particular case, this is a business to business here, where a test retailer has sent orders into this particular Counterpoint system for the purpose of processing the orders. And as we can see, all the information is here. Things like miscellaneous charges get mapped to miscellaneous charges in Counterpoint. Taxes, if you collect taxes, then we map it to a tax code. So at this point, this is just another order in Counterpoint that you can process out. So Paul, that's really the e-commerce web sale side of it. And then the other side, which I can show you, is if you are not into the web sales, but you want to utilize the catalogs and the products and the purchasing side of this, then we have that set up as well. So if you are a retailer, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to subscribe to a catalog. Now, in this case, this particular retailer is only subscribed to one catalog. And clearly, you could be subscribed to multiple catalogs. Then, once we've got that catalog, then we can pull the products in. So this is the list of all the products that we are getting from that particular vendor. We can see what the cost is. We can see what the suggested retail price is. We have the ability to decide whether or not it's going to be put into Counterpoint or not. In this particular case, all these items are in Counterpoint. We can see the Counterpoint item number. So not only do we have the order ease product number that the vendor used. So on this column here, this is the vendor's item number that you would normally order from when you create a purchase order to that vendor. And over here, we have the Counterpoint SQL item number, which is linked to that item and that vendor. Now,
so that would make it easy to cross-index from multiple suppliers the same product.
Correct.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we have some options here as far as when this price updates inside of Counterpoint. What do we do? And I won't go into all the details, but you have the ability to have the price updated automatically, vendor information, et cetera, et cetera. So once you've got these items in here, you now then can create a purchase request. And so when you create the purchase request, you're going to select that particular vendor and you're going to select his items. And when you post that as a purchase order, then those products are automatically pushed up to order ease and onward to the vendor. Now, once that vendor actually ships that product, then we have the ability to look at the orders that are out there that we're waiting to receive. So in this particular case, we have a number of purchase orders here that we're waiting to come in. And when the purchase order actually comes in, we can actually click on Create Receiver. And when we save this record, a receiver is created inside a Counterpoint. And all you have to do then is to go into that receiving and finalize it. Verify that it's correct, that it matches what was shipped. But this eliminates a lot of the breakdown in the receiving process, because if the vendor did not ship everything complete, then what you're going to see here is only what they shipped.
Right.
And so that way you can do a partial receiving instead of the whole thing. Then you can also drill down into the details of what was actually on that order. So we can see here, this is what we're expecting to get in. And when we save this, this will actually create the receiver and counterpoint.
Makes sense. Okay, well, I appreciate that, Mark. And now we're going to open up the questions to the group. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to add it to the chat. Well, it sounds like you thoroughly explained everything, Mark. We have no questions at this point. But we appreciate everyone for joining us today. If you're ready to explore how this can work for your business, just reply to the follow-up email or book a call directly with our team. We'd love to help you simplify your operation and grow your sales. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for your time, Mark.
Yep. Thank you, Paul. Have a good day.
Take care.